You guys are so slow. Look.
A Chaos Emerald! You've already found one!
Well now, I may not look it, but I'm a real treasure hunter. Unlike a certain echidna I know.
What? Heh.
Have you guys discovered anything?
Yeah. I received a signal indicating there's a Chaos Emerald here, but...
You mean we've got to go through there?
If you don't like it, you can stay here.
You've got to be kidding.
Don't be late. Same to you.
Alright, welcome back to Sonic 06. We are in part 3 of Shadow's story. We are in Flame Core.
The crust's energy is out of control.
I'm kind of glad that they got the time travel stuff out of the way, like, pretty early on for Shadow. Well, technically. Because this happens, like I said multiple times, like halfway through Sonic's story. But it's like almost the first thing that you do in Shadows is get sent back in time. Although I guess he doesn't really spend a whole lot of time in the present, does he? Because this takes place here, and then we know, because we played Silver's story, that at some point he's also going to go to the past. So, that's pretty wild. I actually never really thought about that before. Shadow spends a whole lot of time not really in the present day. That's such garbage. I hate that enemies can just jump out of the floor at you like that.
Watch out for the fiery ears.
And again, Shadow controls better than Silver and better than Sonic. So this is another great in comparison to everything else in this game. A good run-through of Flame Core. You know, you don't have to deal with any of the annoying stuff with Sonic. Actually, you know what? This is a fine level for Sonic, too. This is maybe one of the few levels that's actually pretty decent as all three characters. And again, we basically did this exact same thing as Silver, where we had to defeat all the enemies in order to open this door. But with Shadow, it takes so much quicker because it's just like Sonic. You can homing attack the enemies, which kills them instantly. You don't have to throw boxes at them and worry about their life bars or anything like that. It's so annoying. So this is like the real good use for the Chaos Boost move. You activate it and you just keep homing attacking to enemies, and they will, you'll basically just keep locking on to the next enemy, which is really useful. Sometimes it can actually get you to places that you want to go, but it'll also do that. It's incredibly finicky. You know, shocking. Something in this game doesn't work as intended. But it's fine. It works better than it should, but not as good as it should at the same time. There's one point in this, which, by the way, first off, I feel like this lasts way too long. Like, it lasts way longer than I expected it to. But it does screw me up at one point, where I felt like I was going fairly well through the level, and then it just completely decides to screw me over. But yeah, you can see I was able to cross that lava pretty well just by using the new homing attack. I forget what the new homing attack is called, because each of these moves do have like new names or whatever. But I feel like every other time that I use Chaos Boost, it runs out way before this. This is taking way too long for this to go. I shouldn't have been able to activate it in one combat section, and it's still active in the very next combat section. Like, that's pretty wild. I also hope you get used to that he does every single time he attacks. Now these doors, I know you can clip through. I tried to do that as Sonic, but couldn't quite figure out how to do it. This particular sequence is where it screws me up. I think it kills me if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's right here. I tried to go across here, but it, for whatever reason, just didn't do anything. So that was really fun. And I got hit out of the air, sniped out of the air by like a meteor or whatever that is. But you know what? Fine. I'll be able to accurately actually do what I wanted to do this time. Because I have full control of my homing attack back. Ow. See, I'm a proponent of just touching an enemy shouldn't kill you or hurt you. I think that's really annoying. It works in 2D games because it's the only way that an enemy could feasibly attack you, is if you touch it. But these guys are throwing things at you, they're trying to melee you, they're trying to shockwave you. There's no reason that just touching them should hurt you. Not anymore. And I'm sure everyone knows this by now, but after you take the dash pad, you can still get sniped out of the air by a meteor or an asteroid, whatever you want to call it, the debris. You can still get sniped out of the air with it, and it is very not nice. I've had it happen to me at least one time, but I've seen like speedrunners talk about how it has happened to them like multiple times. It's fairly unlikely, but it can happen. See, this is another part that I think is just better as Shadow. Silver doesn't really have to go through, like, this part in particular. But it's again, just better than when Sonic has to do it. However, there is one thing that Silver's level did better, and I talked about it when we played as him. It's not happening quite yet, but we will get there eventually. I don't know what the hell happened there either. I don't know what's going on to Shadow and his homing attack in this video. It's not being very nice to him. I just need a ring, man. I remember back in Sonic Adventure 1, there was that, like, that room with the mirrors where you had to, like, provide the light so you can actually see where you were going. That's kind of like what this area is, but because TVs were shittier back then, you really legitimately couldn't see in Sonic Adventure. Whereas in this one, you can see just fine. So there's no point in actually lighting anything up. I'd like to say that anyway, that you don't have to do that, but as I said in Silver's, you do in fact. Also there, once again, it didn't, the homing attack went the wrong way. I was trying to hit that spring. But as I said in Silver's story, you do have to do this as Shadow. We did this as Sonic. We had to play as Knuckles and light every single one of these orbs on the way up. However, what we're going to do first is take down every single enemy in this area. It just makes things go smoother for us. We're gonna take down all the enemies and then go through and turn on the orbs. It's just quicker that way. You know, the game probably won't slow down as much if there aren't as many enemies in the area. So that's not a bad idea to do. However, I think if you watch my Happy Birthday Sonic 06 video, you know that in the Shadow... My god, I can't get any character name right anymore. In the Knuckles section in Sonic's story, you can clip through this area and finish the level as Knuckles, which you're obviously not supposed to be able to do. I believe you can do the same thing as Rouge. I almost just called Rouge Shadow. What is going on? Silver's story broke my brain. Just like Tails, Rouge can go into first person and throw those, but I don't think that's as useful. I think Rouge basically cops the dummy ring bomb thing from Tails. Although it makes more sense for Rouge to be using bombs because she's like a special agent or whatever and not an 8-year-old. And it just makes more sense for her to like be able to throw things at enemies. So that was something I never liked about Tails' gameplay. It just made no sense. So now that we've defeated all the enemies, we can go through and turn these lights on. Yeah, this is timed. Once you turn them on, they can turn back off. So that's another reason why I did this. I didn't want to get, you know, sidetracked by the enemies and then have to go relight them. Yeah, once again, Rouge basically controls and plays like a combination of Sonic's like worst two characters to play as, Tails and Knuckles. At least in this game, they are probably the worst characters to play as. But she does both things that Knuckles and Tails do better, except for getting off of walls. Rouge is worse at that for whatever reason. She gets stuck to walls easier. That was a werehog scream. That was Jason Griffith testing out his werehog scream. But now that we've reached the end of this level, we get to, once again, view my favorite line in the entire game. We get to see Shadow deliver my favorite line of dialogue in the game.
I found a Chaos Emerald.
Don't touch it!
I don't know why that always gets me. Don't touch it!
What?
It's always been my favorite line in the game. It's just so silly. My two favorite cutscenes in the game is when Shadow kicks Silver right in the back of the head. And my favorite line of dialogue is, don't touch it! So this is Iblis 2, a fight we fought exactly with Sonic. A fight that normally goes on about 5 minutes every time you play it. I sped up, so you're welcome. We don't have to sit through this twice. It's just not a very interesting boss. It has barely been changed. I think there's some slight differences between Shadow and Sonic's versions, but I don't care. We're speeding through it because no one needs to see this again. It's not like the Egg Genesis where, you know, you play through it as Sonic and he can homing attack, and then you play through it as Silver who has to throw boxes at it. It's at least different. It's not better, but it's different at least. It's more worthy of, like, being a different boss. Whereas Iblis Phase 2, no way. Absolutely not. There's no reason for this. Yeah. This is also an absolutely heartbreaking boss. As I've said multiple times, a heartbreaking boss to lose right at the end. This is also one of the first times I didn't die to Iblis 2 at the end. Because usually something happens, like I fall in the lava or he hits me or something, you know, where I do die at the end. But thankfully that did not happen this time. I didn't have to waste 10 minutes of my time doing this. It's gonna be an S++.
Need to stay focused.
I don't know what I could have done differently. I don't know how you do that fight faster to get a time bonus. It doesn't make sense.
Chaos Control!
Shadow. Shadow. Shadow? And he doesn't have a Chaos Emerald anymore.
Agent Rouge, report your status immediately. Have you retrieved the Book of Darkness?
Well, I'll provide a full report shortly. Right now, I have a priority situation to deal with. I need to contact E123 Omega immediately.
So now, for just some reason, this is basically like the time in Sonic Story where you have to play as Tails and go through Wave Ocean for no reason. This is at least better, because Shadow does not ever come to Tropical Jungle on his own. At least there's some form of a reason to be doing this right now. Also, in the cutscene, you'll notice that the guy, the gun guy, talking to Rouge, said that they need to find the Book of Darkness. That's because they changed the script, I think, like, pretty close to, like, the end of development of the game, and just never changed it, because it's supposed to be the Scepter of Darkness. I think in-game it's referred to as the Scepter of Darkness, but I think actual dialogue calls it the Book of Darkness. So, I don't know. It's just really silly. It's like I said, everything that could have gone wrong in this game did go wrong. It's a perfect bad game. It really is. This is the room of bad games. Also, that, apparently, that's a speedrunning technique that I accidentally just found there. Speedrunners use that to go up walls faster as Rouge.
What did you think of my beautiful technique?
And there you go. That's one of the easiest stages in the game. Basically, you just do exactly what Silver does, only it's easier because you're Rouge, and she can properly fly.
This is a charming little place. Hi, long time no see.
Rouge the Bat. Situation understood. What would you like me to do?
Take this and deliver it to Shadow.
System reactivation countdown initiated. Backup power source. Spare magazine secured. Command program priority changed. New mission, Shadow support. External access no longer permitted. Confirmed.
I'm counting on you.